Yo, what's good, Jets Nation? This is NY Jets Media, bringing you guys the next episode on my player profile series I created on my channel when I break down each player on the New York Jets. If you missed my previous two videos, I gave you guys my thoughts on Quinnen Williams and rookie Denzel Mims. And in this video, as you guys can tell from the title, I will be talking about star running back Le'Veon Bell. I'm really excited to give you guys my in-depth thoughts on Le'Veon Bell because he was a splash signing last year in 2019. And he didn't really live up to his star expectations in 2019. And I'll get into why I think that happened and why I think in 2020 he will be improved in stat line all across the board and how I want to see Adam Gase utilize him in this offense. So yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've been posting daily Jets content and excited to bring you guys consistent content all throughout the summer, carrying over into the season. So with that being said, let's get right into Le'Veon Bell. So last year, Mike McCagnon goes out and splash signing, blockbuster signing. We get Le'Veon Bell for a pretty hefty price. And I was so excited when we got Le'Veon Bell. I was always a Le'Veon Bell fan when he was in Pittsburgh. I loved his play style, very unique, once-in-a-generation talent. And him coming to the Jets in Darnold's second year, I thought it was just a perfect match. And Darnold having a weapon like Le'Veon in the backfield is only going to help him. And then we get to 2019, and the biggest reason that held back Le'Veon Bell is his offensive line. The offensive line was just terrible all year in 2019, as we all know. Bunch of injuries, had a bunch of different sets that we had to run through. I think it was like 10 different sets that this offensive line had to go through. And the offensive line cannot get chemistry and continuity if there's not stable five players playing every single game consistently. You need to have that chemistry and that connection, and you're not going to be successful in the run game if that offensive line is not good. And we saw how terrible our run game was last year. I don't think I am too confident in Adam Gase's play calling to utilize Le'Veon Bell to his maximum potential. I really hope Adam Gase can learn from his mistakes in 2019 and get Le'Veon Bell the ball more in passing game because he is elite at that. And I feel like we did not utilize Le'Veon Bell in the passing game as much as we should, as much as I anticipated. And every play call that Le'Veon Bell got the ball, you saw him get the ball, and Le'Veon Bell's play style is patience. So he's sitting in the backfield, dancing around, looking for a hole to open. And 2 seconds later, he sees three defenders in the backfield tackling him. I mean, Le'Veon Bell's play style requires a good offensive line. Obviously, every running back needs an offensive line to succeed, but specifically Le'Veon Bell, you need an offensive line. He needs holes to cut through. He's not a guy that's going to explode through a hole and take it 60 yards to the house. He doesn't have that explosive speed. As we know, he has the vision, the patience. He needs to sit back and wait to hit the hole and then hit the next level and then hit a stiff arm or a spin move and then break a tackle and take it to another 15-20 yard gain. He's not a guy that's going to break free for a long distance run. So Le'Veon Bell obviously is a star on this offense. He is probably the best player on this offense right now, name-wise, on paper. And I'm really excited to see Le'Veon Bell in 2020 with this improved offensive line. I think he's going to have a dramatically improved season if he can play all 16 games. I really think that this offensive line is a big improvement from 2019. No, I don't think this offensive line is a top 10 unit in the league right now, but compared to 2019, it is a dramatic upgrade. So going right into Le'Veon Bell's stats in 2019, these definitely are underwhelming stats for Le'Veon Bell's caliber because when he was in Pittsburgh, he was putting up ridiculous numbers. So he had 789 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns rushing, 66 receptions, 461 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. And he had a total of 1,250 scrimmage yards. So these numbers are not elite, because I'm looking at it as Le'Veon Bell's name. If you go back to his Pittsburgh Steelers days, and his numbers were just absolutely absurd, and he only had 3 rushing touchdowns. That was very disappointing as a Jets fan to see that. And I do think the two reasons why is the offensive line and Adam Gase. I really hope Adam Gase can really get in the coaching room with Le'Veon Bell and talk to him, understand what do you want me to do that can help you excel at this next level, because we know Le'Veon Bell's talent is there. He has all the elite abilities to be a next level running back as he was in the past on the Steelers. So it's just a matter of Adam Gase can open up his playbook, get really creative with Le'Veon, and hopefully this offensive line can get continuity and open holes for him. These are my projected 2020 stats for Le'Veon Bell. This is obviously going to be a dramatic upgrade from 2019, and the reason why is that I'm expecting him to play all 16 games. I'm expecting the offensive line to be healthy all year and Adam Gase to improve in his play calling. So I have him having 1,024 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, 82 receptions, 604 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. And that's a total of 10 touchdowns and a total of 1,628 scrimmage yards. Yes, these are really good numbers, but if you look at Le'Veon Bell's standards in Pittsburgh, it's just normal for him. It's not like a huge deal for Le'Veon to put up these type of numbers. So I'm definitely expecting Le'Veon to take that next step next year. Second year in the Jets offense, second year understanding Adam Gase, and hopefully, like I keep saying, the offensive line can come together and he can run behind Mekhi Becton. And Mekhi Becton's clearing the way for him because we know how much Mekhi Becton is a beast, and he is more of a run blocking left tackle than a pass blocking. So I think Le'Veon Bell is really happy that we have Mekhi Becton. So yeah, those are his projected stats in 2020. I definitely think he's going to improve if he plays all 16 games and this offensive line is better. Going into Le'Veon Bell's strengths and weaknesses, he has a lot of strengths because he is a generational talent at this position. His strengths are patience, his vision, pass catching ability, his elusiveness, and balance. All of these are traits that Le'Veon Bell excels at and what makes him an elite running back. His patience, he sits back and he is really patient on waiting for the holes to open. And that takes a lot of discipline. And for Le'Veon Bell to master that craft, it's just beautiful to watch. His vision, that is another part of his patience. He sits back and he looks in the second level and he is mapping out where he's going to cut and burst through the hole just instinctually. He has that in his mind, and it's just great to see the craft of Le'Veon Bell because there really isn't another running back you can compare Le'Veon Bell to. He is that unique. His pass catching ability. We saw that one-handed catch against the Raiders. It was like the first play of the game. He had that one-handed catch. That just shows like Le'Veon Bell is a wide receiver. Like I want to see Adam Gase line him up in the slot more often, line him up on the outside, get creative with Le'Veon Bell because he is another wide receiver on this team. His elusiveness. You saw that spin move against the Cleveland Browns on Monday Night Football. He just has the ability to just make guys miss. The way he cuts, the way he jukes, it's so unique. His stiff arm, he's just very elusive. And his balance, he can just get hit and stay balanced. He puts his hand on the ground and gets back up and just runs for another 5 yards. When there's people on top of him, he's dragging them. He has balance, and that's Le'Veon Bell. I mean, he has so many strengths. There's probably more strengths that I couldn't think of that I'm not naming, but I want to name like 10 different strengths. So going into his weaknesses, not really a big deal, but his speed. The only reason why I have that is because he doesn't have the next level breakaway speed. Like if he hits the next level, he's not going to take it 80 yards to the house, like I said previously. But that's not an issue. It's just Le'Veon Bell's play style. And he is a guy that's going to rumble and take contact and just get like those 10, 15-yard runs, average 5 yards a carry. That's Le'Veon Bell's game. So the only reason why I have speed on a weakness is just because that's Le'Veon Bell's playstyle. And then the other weakness is he's aging. Le'Veon Bell is getting older. He's not getting younger. So he's going to progressively get worse with his body. So hopefully his mental game can keep up and he keeps his physical body intact because he is aging. He's passing his prime years of age. So hopefully Le'Veon Bell can sustain his body. So yeah, those are my strengths and weaknesses for Le'Veon Bell and his projected stats in 2020. To end off this video, I want to give you guys my initial thoughts on Le'Veon Bell and what I expect from him in this year and in the future. It's going to be interesting to see how productive he is in 2020 because if he really does what I'm saying he's going to do, have over 1,000 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns, then I don't see Joe Douglas getting rid of Le'Veon Bell. But if he disappoints and is injury prone and doesn't live up to the Le'Veon Bell numbers, I don't think he will be on this team in 2021 because we have a LaMichael Pirine that's coming up who could potentially take over his spot. And we also have a getaway out of his contract, and Joe Douglas can easily cut Le'Veon Bell and make some money off of it. But me personally, I hope Le'Veon Bell is here in 2021, carrying over into 2022. He's just a guy that really understands football. He's a great locker room guy. I know when we first signed him, I was worried how he's going to handle with New York media, because a star like him sometimes gets toxic and there's a lot of people in his face, but Le'Veon Bell handled everything so maturely. He even said in Pittsburgh he was immature, and now he is a mature adult and he understands the media. He dealt with the trade discussions at the trade deadline like a pro. Like, it was the opposite of Jamal Adams. He was just I was just really impressed with how Le'Veon Bell handled everything, all the drama that happened. When we were 1-7, Le'Veon Bell was still positive. He still was that guy that was always looking at the light in the darkness, and that's someone you want on this team. A guy that's a veteran. He is going to be an all-time great, and you want young guys to look at Le'Veon Bell and just, he's a leader. He's a natural leader. He has that in him. It's not something he has to try to do. It's just an instinctual thing. And he has that star, flashy Le'Veon Bell style to him that just New York Jets offense needs. So I really love that Le'Veon Bell's a Jet, and I hope he carries over and is a Jet for the next 3 years. So with that being said, leave a comment down below what you guys think of Le'Veon Bell and your expectations for him in 2020. I love hearing you guys' thoughts, and leave a comment down below what you guys thought of this video, and hit that like button if you enjoyed, and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go Jets. Peace.